Well, with Duke tomorrow night, obviously a huge game. What's kind of the feeling around the team going into that one?
It's fun. It's our first road trip. A lot of the guys haven't really experienced that, not real so just, having the fun around that in the game. Like Coach Pope said, it's the next game, but it's, in the big arena, it's going to be fun for sure. So.
Is it hard not to get, too juiced up for that going into it, or?
I feel like we don't feel it just before the game starts when we warm up and stuff, but, it's just energy what we use in a great way to help us try the game, so.
Have you done any scouting yet, or looked ahead a little bit to Duke? What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, we have. We know who they've got. How similar to us, they got a deep bench too. A lot of older guys, so it'll be fun. I feel like we match up well with them, so we'll see how it turns out tomorrow.
The 7'2" freshman that they have, I'm guessing there's not a whole lot of film out there on him. But what do you know about him? What do you think that matchup's going to be like? I assume you'll be on him quite a bit.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Even the other big they have, Brown, I feel like them two are very skilled. He's 7'2" long, so boxing out is going to be something we got to emphasize. But like I said, I feel like me and BG, one of the best front courts in the nation. So I feel like we would do just fine. So.
Coach Pope was talking about the rebounding before the last game. He wasn't real pleased with it, and then obviously you guys out-rebounded him a ton Saturday night, and you came out, especially at the beginning. Did you kind of take that upon yourself, and did you hear that? And
yeah, we heard it a lot. I feel like we heard it every practice leading up to that game, so thankfully them 2 rebounds bounced my way in the first 3 minutes, so it's just something we built up after that, and like you said, we kind of emphasized that and went out and did the job, so.
No disrespect to Drexel, but is this maybe the biggest game you've ever played in?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's just because of the stage and where it's at and who we're playing. But I feel like a lot of the games coming up this season are going to have the same feeling. So finale is for sure, yeah.
Do you have a favorite maybe Duke player or a memory that you can remember watching them play maybe in the past?
Watching Duke play, I would just say Zion. That's the only one I really think of when I think of Duke. Before that, I didn't really watch college basketball. We didn't really have many of the channels, so Zion is a big one that stands out for me. So.
Do you remember Zion's game against Kentucky?
I do, unfortunately. I'm part of the team, but hopefully it don't go this way this time around. So.
What is the biggest game you think you feel like you've played in your 4 years in college?
Was there a point of emphasis with this game in particular? No.
I would say the Big 5 game we had last year at the Wells Fargo, just because, I feel like going into that season, we felt like we could have won the tournament. We just had a few bad games at the start of the season, and, we turned it around and beat a ranked Villanova team at the NBA arena. So I feel like that's been one of the biggest highlights in my college so far. So.
You mentioned some of the defensive matchups with Cooper Flagg. Obviously, he's a very versatile player. What do you guys? I'm guessing you don't want to give away the game plan, but what do you think it's going to be like to go out there and defend him? I assume it'll be multiple people on him.
Yeah, it'll be fun. He's a great player. Everyone's kind of seen what he can do. So it's just going out, being confident in defense, and just the plans we have for him, just sticking to it and just trusting in our guys around us. I feel like that's going to bring us a W in this game. So.
Do you play any differently or approach the game any differently when Kerr comes in for Lamont, or maybe when Lamont's in for Kerr? Do you have to play differently with those point guards?
Not really. I feel like both of them have exceptional pace. They push the ball really well. So just running alongside them and just, in the trail spot, even rim running, I feel like it's kind of the same. It's just the only difference is shooting, knowing that Kerr likes to shoot a bit more and Lamont likes to drive. That's the only difference between the game that I see.
Kind of to piggyback off that, you've been on a couple different teams or versions of Drexel and then here at UK. Is this the best passing team or collection of passers you've maybe ever played with?
Yeah, for sure. The unselfishness amongst the team, we don't really have one guy who just goes out and gets all the ball screens and, shoots all the shots. I feel like it's just a team. I think they said something like 7 guys are averaging double digits right now. I feel like that's just crazy. That just kind of shows how well we're doing and leading the nation in assists so far too. So it's really good.
Have you been surprised at Kerr's not passing ability, but his willingness, I guess, to pass? I feel like he had a reputation of a guy who shoots a lot, and it seems like he's just passing up these wide open shots for himself.
I feel like a lot of the things is just the kind of teams everyone's been on in the past. Maybe that wasn't his role, but as soon as he came here throughout the summer, even when we played the TBT team, that's something he was always wanting to do, find the open shooter. So seeing him have 12 assists didn't really surprise a lot of us. So, yeah.
Do you have to? How aware do you have to be when you're on the court with him? Just it seems like it could come to you at any time, or go anywhere at any time when he has the ball.
I feel like everyone, you have to have your head on a swivel. We even seen Kobe Bryant throw a no-look pass in that clip. So it's like you just have to know that a pass can come at any moment and just be ready to catch it. So.
How many times have you watched that clip where Kobe threw it? And then obviously it didn't stop there.
Yeah.
You know, it kept moving to the open shot.
I mean, I watched it a lot of times. I remember even in the game being surprised that Kobe threw a no-look pass. I think that's the first time I've ever seen him do that. So, but you know, it was a great clip that just shows how unselfish we are too. So.
With your approach to the game, kind of being as a point center, do you approach the game as more of a point guard mentality or a center mentality, or how do you balance being 7 feet and also wanting to play like a point guard?
I mean, it's just the same things we do in practice, the same plays we have, just trying to find the open guy. And I feel like it depends on the matchup defensively, knowing how they're going to guard me, knowing how I've got to guard them. So, yeah.
Do you have like any player you model your game after? I feel like you might be kind of a hard guy to.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I grew up a guard, so I feel like recently it's been like Jokic, Sabonis, guys like that. They're the kind of guys I feel like I'm under my game after right now.
Gotcha. Now, you've done really well with passing the ball, too. You've had a little bit of turnovers as well. Is that just a matter of getting your chemistry together with everyone else, or are you trying to toe the line of being sped up without being too sped up?
Yeah, I'll say it's just, I wouldn't say chemistry, but the defense bucked out for us last game was we kind of had a stretch where we didn't know what was going on, and I feel like that's where most of my turnovers came from. Or even just with ball security, when I drive, I feel like I'm just letting them get a hand on it. So just things like that I got to clean up on, but I'll be good otherwise. So.
What do you know about this rivalry between Kentucky and Duke?
I don't know much about it. I know that the matchups switch every year, but you know, I don't really. The only rivalry I know about right now is Louisville, so I don't know about any of the other ones.
That's the main one. When you committed to Kentucky, are these the kind of matchups that you see yourself playing in?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of the games coming up as well, even in conference play, it's just great matchups. I didn't really think I would ever be a part of. So yeah, it's definitely fun for sure.
Does Coach Pope ever try and get under your skin during practice?
Yeah, a lot of the times, even last game, I'd say so, just because of how good the 7-foot guy was, Williamson. So I feel like he does that a lot, just to kind of get us prepared for the games. I'm going to be surprised if he doesn't do it today, but it's kind of fun.
Do you think it works? Does it motivate you enough? Or?
Yeah, it works for sure. It does.
I know Ansley kind of spilled that Pope was saying that Noah was going to have like 30 points on you during practice. Do you remember like what he was saying and kind of what kind of jokes he throws at you?
It's just things like that, saying that he's going to outwork us and things like that. I feel like me and BG it was on our minds to come out there and prove that that's not going to happen. So hopefully we do the same tomorrow too. So.
The same, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you're playing.
Yeah.
How do you keep that juice, without getting too hyped and stay within your game when you play a team like Duke?
Kind of like what you said. Coach has been preaching, like even before this game, that the game that we're about to play is the most important game of our lives, pretty much, because we're in the moment. You're supposed to be where your feet are. So, I mean, you just don't want to look ahead. You want to prepare the same for every game, so you don't get too high, too low. So, obviously, we know this is a big game, but we're just looking at it as any other game. And we just have to go out there and win.
Do you have a favorite maybe Duke player from the past, or maybe a memory of them playing, or even playing against Kentucky?
I don't have a memory, but I'd say favorite Duke player is Cam Reddish, just because he was on the same AU team that I was on. So, I mean, I like watching him for sure.
What changed with the offensive rebounding, do you think, that really made you all go out and attack? It was just a mentality thing, or is there more to it than that?
I think it was definitely just a mentality thing, just being more physical, more down on the boards, because we have a lot of tools and weapons that can get offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds as well. So just being locked in and keyed in in that aspect.
Coach Pope, I was talking to Amari, he said that he likes to get under your all skin, or at least his skin, the big. Sometimes does he do it with you all as well, and how does he?
Yeah.
What are his practices there?
Yeah, he'll do it a little bit, just trying to like throw a little jazz at you that'll get you riled up. So, I mean, he does it in a way where it's like he's playing, but it's like you don't want him to keep on saying it, so you're gonna try and change it. Yeah.
Now that you've been in the system, do you think it's hard for other teams to prepare for this team, for your team?
Yeah, the way we move, the way we cut, I mean, it's hard. Obviously, you can guard it, but it's going to be hard because it's more just based on feel. So it's not like we have plays that we're running consistently. Like, we're just getting up and down. We're confident in every single guy that's on the court. So it's just more of like a feel and read type of thing. So, I mean, that's pretty much what you have to guard instead of plays.
What's the experience been like playing with Kerr? Both playing with him out on the court, but also kind of watching what he's doing from the bench.
It's crazy. He electric. I mean, every time he out there, he gonna do something. Whether it's he gonna yell in someone's face, he gonna smack the floor, smack the stanchion. So, I mean, when he's doing that, it's just, I mean, it's electrifying because it gets everyone rattled up and gets everyone turned. So, I mean, he had 12 assists last game. I think by the second half, he had like 6 assists or something like that. So, you know, just knowing that he's going out there, just trying to make everyone better, and he's bringing energy, is huge.
How much of that, the smack in the stanchion, stuff like that, coming in, I mean, he had this reputation as this big trash talker, but it seems like that's to get himself maybe fired up as much as anything, or maybe even his teammates.
I think that's what it is. Like, just trying to uplift the energy. Obviously, when you're a player, you want to come into the game and make an impact whatever way. For him, it's his playmaking, shooting, energy. So, you know, he's valuable in so many different ways. And I mean, at first, I thought it was really just his trash talking as well. But nah, he's just like his energy is just it's crazy.
Do you think something like that is infectious, whether it be the no-look passing for a better shot, or you know the energy that he brings by slapping the floor and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's definitely it definitely rubs off on other players. You know, he'll go out there, make a pass, you know, hype the person up, then give his all on defense, and I mean that's just huge because, you know, he's just trying to just change the tempo of the game, just uplift it. So it definitely rubs off on all other players.
Coach Pope talked about maybe a week ago, talked about how you in the offseason tried to simplify or maybe, you know, not focus on smaller part of your game so you can expand other part of your games. And you worked with Mark Fox a lot in the offseason. What are some of those areas that you maybe cut down on to expand in other areas? And, you know, what was that process like?
For me, it was just, you know, playing off 2 more, just being more under control. Because obviously when you're an athlete, you just want to, like, take off in certain situations where you could play off 2, keep your dribble just to make better decisions when you're making plays. So that's pretty much all it was, you know, just playing off 2 and just making better decisions.
Was a lot of that working with Coach Fox, and how did he help you with all that too?
Yeah, I mean, we drilled it every day, you know. Before practice, we always have skill work, at least like 20 minutes. So, you know, we just always working on those things.